Hi folks, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Carrie, and this is a channel where we help people and organizations amplify their impact. The tip that I am talking about today did not make it into the earlier version of Career Gymnastics, but trust me, it definitely should have. And who knows, it might actually make its way into a future edition. So if you already have read the book, first of all, thank you. But just know that this is one of those insights that I've been talking about more and more, especially with my clients that I'm coaching. And I've also written about it on the blog in case you want to dive deeper. Today, I am talking about something that I think a lot of folks need to hear, and it is to stop proving yourself and start positioning yourself. Proving yourself is exhausting and often unproductive. And let's start with what I mean when I say stop proving yourself. Before you run off and tell someone that Carrie said, I'm not saying that you should walk into a new role acting like you know everything. I'm not saying that you should be ignoring feedback or act like no one can tell you anything. And I am definitely not saying that you need to make some big loud declaration about what's next. What I am saying is that your movements, how you show up, what you say yes to, the relationships you build need to reflect where you're going, not just where you are. I can remember early on at a company, I had a manager who kept encouraging me to apply for this next level role. But I had just gotten there and I felt like I needed more time to prove that I deserved to be considered. I was saying yes to everything just to earn a seat I was already qualified for. And one day my manager finally came to me and she said, Carrie, look, there are going to be plenty of people who try to tell you that you are not ready for something. Don't you be one of them. And that really stuck with me because I realized that I was not waiting for someone else to validate me. I was really just blocking myself. I was working to convince people of something that I already knew, and that is the trap. Proving yourself is exhausting, and most of the time it's really unproductive. It keeps you reactive. You end up chasing visibility through overworking, over explaining, and overcommitting, hoping that somebody is going to finally notice. But proving mode isn't about being intentional. It's about being on the defense, and it keeps you waiting, waiting to be seen, waiting for the green light, waiting for someone to say, yes, now you're ready. And let me clearly say this. You don't have to prove that you belong. You are already in the room. And the moment that you start moving like you know what you bring to the table without arrogance, but with clarity, that's when things shift. And listen, there is a big difference between being self-aware and constantly seeking validation. At some point, you have to say to yourself, I know what I bring, I've done the work, I've made the impact. And if someone still refuses to acknowledge that, then that's information. And what you do with that is up to you. This isn't about being dismissive or closed off to growth. It's about no longer over-functioning just to be considered. It is about moving with alignment and knowing that you already deserve a seat. You're just deciding which table you want to be at. So now that we've talked about why proving yourself can be draining and unproductive, I want to move us into what you should be doing instead, and that is positioning. Positioning is not about being flashy, my friend. It is not about constantly talking about your achievements or trying to be seen. Positioning is about moving intentionally, making those strategic decisions and being clear about how you want to be known. It means that you're not just doing great work, you're making sure that the right people are aware of the work that you're doing. You're not just filling your calendar with things, you're aligning your time with projects that actually help move you to the next step. Let's say you want to move into leadership. Positioning means that from day one, you start asking yourself, am I showing up in a way that reflects leadership? How do I carry myself in meetings? Am I building relationships with people who can advocate for me? Am I taking on work that exposes me to cross-functional teams or senior decision makers? Or maybe you might be trying to make a lateral move into a different area. Positioning in that case might look like volunteering to partner on a project with that team, asking intentional questions in your one-on-ones, sharing wins that might be tied to that space in team meetings so that others can see your range. Positioning is about deliberate visibility. It is you making sure that your impact is clear and that it is being seen in the context of where you want to grow. You're not hoping that someone is going to notice you grinding behind the scenes. You are connecting the dots between what you do and where you want to go or where you're headed. Proving says, I hope they see me. Positioning says, let me make sure they understand my value. And the way you do that isn't by doing more. It's by doing the right things in front of the right people. So before you say yes to that next request, I want you to ask yourself, is this helping me position myself for what I want next? Or is this just another thing I'm doing to prove that I deserve to be here? Once you make that shift, your energy goes from trying to keep up to leading where you want to be. I want to leave you with this before we head out. You don't have to keep proving that you belong somewhere. You already got the job. You already belong. You've already made the impact. You've shown up. And now it's time for you to shift that energy from convincing to positioning, from constantly doing to strategically building. Your movements, your relationships, the way you carry yourself, they should all reflect where you are headed, not where you are. Positioning is how you stop waiting to be chosen and start creating your own momentum. And I want you to remember this. This isn't about arrogance. It's not about pretending that you have all the answers. It's about owning what you bring to the table and making sure that the things you say yes to align with where you want to be. So I want you to reflect and ask yourself if you are still proving yourself or if you are actually positioning yourself for what's next. And if you like this video, I want you to go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to go a little bit deeper into some of the things that I talk about, please consider picking up my book, Career Gymnastics. And if you are looking for other ways for us to connect, make sure you check out that description box below. And I will see you on the next one.